Across the southeast right now, but how's the rest of our work week shaping up? I'll be breaking down all of those forecast details coming up.
Jen,
I've got a question for her, putting you on the spot here, Jen.
No.
So we're in the middle of March here, getting to the middle. Do you think there's any more chances that we get any of those freezing temps? I'm wondering if I should plant my spring flowers yet.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question. Let me do some more research. I'll bring you some of those stats here in a little bit.
I have an update from our former friend, he's still with us, Matt Barentine, our fellow friend, I should say, Matt. I asked him this last week, and he said he thinks most of that hard cold is out of here, but you never know.
Exactly. Yeah, the hard cold, I would say, so we could get some frosty mornings here ahead of us, but I'll dive a little bit deeper and give you some of those dates coming up just a little bit here. But let's go ahead and talk about what we're tracking in the short range. And that's going to be some of those showers just across the southeast. Some of that cloud cover moving through portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Here locally, we were seeing some of those showers to begin for this morning, especially closer towards our inland areas. Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh counties getting the bulk of that, but now we're starting to just see some of that very light rain moving through Mobile and Baldwin counties. Now, the majority of this is just going to be clutter that's being picked up on the radar. That's what that's what we're experiencing closer towards the Delta region there. But some of those showers are just beginning to travel a little bit further south. So Foley just starting to see some of that very light rain moving through along with Daphne, Fairhope. We saw some of that on the downtown camera too. Here's a look at that. Still just starting to see some of those light raindrops out there. So some of the showers really holding on, a little more impressive than anticipated, but a gray gloomy look from our Navigator Credit Union camera there at the Battleship. So in case you're going to be traveling near downtown, again, some of those showers still holding on, so just make sure you have that rain gear ready to go. But the good news is that they are quick moving showers and should get out of here pretty quickly. Those temperatures resting in the upper 50s. But here's a look at that futurecast. So very small isolated rain shower chances. It still continues to have all of that fizzling out once we get into the early part of this afternoon. And then it's going to be looking like a completely different day once we get closer towards 3 and 4 o'clock. That's when that sunshine will be making an appearance. And then later on for this evening, more of those clear skies for any of those Monday night plans. But a full look at our day planner as we get further along into the rest of today. There's a look at those temperatures maxing out in the upper 60s with more of that sunshine and even some breezy winds out of the north, wind gusts closer towards 25 miles per hour. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what I'm tracking in the long range, some stronger storms possible this weekend, and also diving deeper into the history books for some of those lows as well. More details on that coming up in just a little bit. Chelsea. And also, we sprung forward this past weekend, and so you might have really felt that difference waking up this morning. Let's talk about those sunrise and sunset times. So sunset this evening in Mobile, 6:57, 6:54 in Pensacola. And then sunrise tomorrow, not again until after 7 a.m. 7:07 in Mobile, 7:03 in Pensacola. I know, but the days are getting longer. That's going to be the good news. Plus, also, I do have the answer to Joe's question earlier. I'll be breaking down those details and your extended forecast coming up when we come back.
Fingers crossed. Jen, remind me, didn't we have something, not us here locally, but the nation had something similar?
Yeah, I think it was last year that we had 2 of them lined up at the exact same time.
Gross.
Cicadas are wild to me.
Well, they just sometimes one will pop on my porch and like I'm thinking it's dead and it just goes crazy. And,
and then you'll hear it.
And then I'm like, is it in my hair? And
all the
panic ensues.
All the panic. Well, let's go ahead and talk more about your forecast and what we're tracking out there. And just a reminder, right now is a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated with everything out there. Now, we had those showers across the southeast. We'll start to see improvements later on. But if you ever have questions about what's going on in the forecast, we do also update those forecast videos for you daily at the very top. Those ones are going to be maximum 60 seconds. So they're going to be real quick. This is where we dive a little bit deeper into your forecast. Now we can run about 2 to 3 minutes, just keeping you updated on what's going on. But let's go ahead and take another look outside right now down in Orange Beach, and still gray and gloomy out there. Again, these aren't the prettiest clouds. It's going to be looking like it could rain at any point. We will start to see improvements by the second half of today. Those temperatures right now just resting in the upper 50s, still a little breezy with those northwesterly winds right around 15 miles per hour out there. But wind gusts today closer towards 20 to 25 miles per hour. But luckily those northerly winds are going to be helping us. So it's high rip current risk for today, low heading into tomorrow and Wednesday. So if you're visiting us here, if you're spring breakers, we will start to see improvements over the next few days. But as always, please be cautious. Always know where the closest lifeguard stand is and pay close attention to those beach flags. Now, forecast highs heading into today would be maxing out in the mid to upper 60s and the lower 70s out there. Feeling nice. And for any of those evening practices, looking even better. Look at those clear skies later on for this evening. Sunset right before 7 p.m. I'll have a final look at your forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Do y'all have a toy that you remember, like growing up, like, oh, this was...
I still have my childhood toy boxes in Scotty's room with all of my toys that my sister and
I
my
didn't have
sisters and I
any
played with.
specific ones.
You don't
My
really-
sister did, yeah.
Really?
Like I remember some, but none that was like the toy
toy?
that I had.
What about you? Did you have the toy?
Tobar was robot spelled backwards, a big inflatable robot that immediately popped. That was a sad one. Also, Nintendo, as I mentioned earlier.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I remember the creepy Furbies in the
Yeah.
middle of the night that just start talking.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick final look at the next 7 days, what we're tracking. The good news, the rain kicking out of here. It'll be fantastic looking this afternoon. We'll see more of that sunshine, warmer temperatures heading into tomorrow, feeling much more spring-like, some calm winds out of the north. Storms return Thursday. We look better by Friday, but by that point, it's going to be humid, breezy winds out of the south, temperatures right around 80 degrees, and then tracking the potential for some strong storms heading into this weekend. Still a little bit inconsistency on Saturday and Sunday. Just stay updated with us as we do get closer.
Can't wait for tomorrow, Wednesday.
I know, it's going to be
That'd
beautiful.
nice.
Miss you, Tobar.
Bye, y'all.